pretty mentally weak in the ring. You know, as soon as things don't start going his way,
Yeah.
he starts to crumble, and things aren't going to go his way. So I think he's going to crumble.
Yeah.
Jake Paul reacts with genuine surprise as footage surfaces showing Gervonta Tank Davis engaging in brutally intense sparring sessions. The clips reveal Tank's signature explosiveness, and Jake admits that seeing them only fuels his motivation. He says that whenever people criticize him or question his abilities, it excites him because every bit of doubt adds more fire to his preparation. According to Jake, negativity transforms every fight into a bigger challenge and every victory into something sweeter.
And on business and say the other person's gonna win. I like it.
So when
it makes it fun.
When you lay your boy out. You know what I mean?
He's my boy too. I love Mike.
I mean, Mike will move from this side to this side without you knowing exactly at which move.
Showbiz the adult responds passionately to critics who claim Gervonta Davis only took the Jake Paul fight for a paycheck. He says those people are missing the bigger picture. According to him, this bout is far more complex than a simple money fight. Jake himself revealed that the contract includes a special knockout bonus, a massive incentive that changes everything. That clause adds new psychology to the fight. If the knockout bonus is as big as rumored, Tank won't just be fighting to win, he'll be fighting to destroy, because getting knocked out by a YouTuber turned boxer is something his pride could never allow. Showbiz argues that critics underestimate Tank's ego and competitive nature. For a fighter like him, reputation is priceless. The idea of losing to Jake Paul is unthinkable. So while outsiders may see a payday, real boxing minds see something deeper, a clash of pride, legacy, and identity. He believes Jake's talk about the knockout bonus may have actually made things even more personal, transforming what could have been a spectacle into a psychological war.
You guys told me that Gervonta Tank Davis is just taking this fight for a payday. He's just trying to get to the bag. Well, you got the fight itself, which is a payday, and you got a KO bonus on top of that, a big bonus. That's what Jake Paul said.
They're going to get a big bonus.
And they got a side bet of $2 million.
Let's make it two.
Y'all gonna shake on it?
Yeah.
Shake on it?
Jake, $1 million.
$2 mil?
2 mil?
2 mil. Let's do
2
it.
mil. Go get it, shake.
Oh, they're shaking left here.
2 mil.
There we go.
Oh my fuck.
Why not get the entire bag? Whenever I got good food on my plate, I clean the plate. There is no reason to boil job. Hold on. I'm gonna play some Marvel Rivals. Let me get on this here. We're playing some Marvel Rivals later. Hold on, let me get my slide. Sure, cause no cream. And yes, no cream. Because I'm fired up today. I got on the scale today and I'm 209 pounds, okay? You guys know that I'm on the fitness journey. I'm showing you guys my video journal. And I started at 217 pounds when I started all this 12 days ago. And I'm telling you, I'm seeing faint abs. Hold on, the faint abs. Woo! The faint abs! The faint abs! The faint abs! I'm telling you, it'll be back. I will be back. I'm on my Terminator shit, and when I'm done, I'm going to tell you guys my secret and exactly how I did it. I'm talking about step by step, everything. I'm going to be in great shape like I was. When I turned 45 and all the gray in the beard, I was just like, it ain't over, bro. It ain't over. Hold on, let me. How you doing? Okay. All right, but listen. A lot of you guys calling this a fake fight and all this shit. I'm going to quote one of you in the war room. I forgot, one of my show business partners said, was it Justin Hill? I forgot who it was. You guys said, you said something like, and if I misquote you, I'm sorry, but it was dope. You said something like, if this is a fake fight, it definitely has real consequences. I keep telling you guys, man, if it goes on their real record or not, whatever it is, you know what you saw. It's just like Ryan Garcia versus Devin the American Dream Haney. Devin Haney is still undefeated, but we know what we saw. You cannot erase what we saw. if Jake Paul knocks out Tank Davis, there's some real circumstances. The shit goes viral, and I'm going to lose $10,000. Jake Paul isn't just going to win in this exhibition, but he's also going to get a knockout bonus and an extra $2 million.
Veteran trainer Robert Garcia analyzes the situation from an experienced point of view. He says that while there's nothing technically wrong with Tank accepting a fight against Jake Paul, it's his career and his choice, the timing feels off. Garcia explains that legends like Mayweather, Tyson, and Pacquiao only turn to exhibition-type fights after cementing their legacy with major titles. Davis, he argues, hasn't reached that stage yet. He still owes fans those defining battles that write a fighter's name in history, showdowns with peers like Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney. To Garcia, the issue isn't the fight itself but what it symbolizes, a detour away from greatness. Instead of reinforcing his place among boxing's elite, Tank risks appearing like he's chasing the spotlight rather than competition. Garcia emphasizes that Tank has all the tools to build a lasting legacy, but shortcuts through flashy events could tarnish it. In his eyes, this fight feels premature, a commercial distraction at a time when Tank should be focused on solidifying his legend.
The contest before something like that, but I don't know, what's your just take on the whole thing?
I'm not very interested. That doesn't excite me. I know it's going to do really good numbers. I know they're making a lot of money, which is good for them, good for Tank, because in boxing that's what everybody looks for. I think it's, the good thing is they announced it as an exhibition, which is, I'm okay with it. Everybody does it. Mayweather has done it. Ali did it. The only thing, my personal opinion is, Tank. They all did it when they had already accomplished so much. They already did so much. Mayweather did everything in boxing and accomplished everything. Muhammad Ali did the same, and many others that have done it. I think Tank never gave us the fights that we really wanted. Never really gave us those challenges. He never really challenged himself. He didn't give Roach that rematch, which he should have. Mayweather did it when he had a hard time with Maidana and Castillo. Right away, he did the rematches to prove everybody wrong, and look at what he did. He beat him clearly. So Tank should have done the same. He didn't. That I could criticize, but then at the end also, if you're making 30 to 50 million, I don't even know what he's making to fight, to have an exhibition against just Jake Paul, I would have asked. I would do the same.
No one would say no to that, right?
If I had one of my fighters get an offer to fight a big celebrity, a big YouTuber for $20-30 million, I would probably do the same. So I don't blame him. It's boxing. At the end of his career, 20 years from now, nobody's gonna care of how many belts he won or who he.
Former boxer Bernie Thaw doesn't mince words. He mocks those celebrating Tank's financial success, saying they've completely missed the point. Tank isn't broke, Bernie says flatly. He's already one of the highest paid fighters in his generation. The fans aren't watching for his paycheck, they're watching for his performance. Bernie explains that boxing fans crave genuine competition, high skill, and emotional rivalries, not thank statements. He also points out that the real storyline the boxing world cares about is still playing out elsewhere, Lamont Roach possibly defeating Isaac Pitbull Cruz. That fight, he says, could actually shift how fans view Tank's legacy, since Pitbull was one of Tank's most dangerous opponents. If Roach beats him, it opens new questions about Tank's dominance. Bernie concludes that Tank needs meaningful fights, not just lucrative ones. Big money spectacles may fill pockets, but they don't fill the pages of history. For purists, legacy will always matter more than luxury.
Rematch with Tank, and it's kind of I kind of don't really care about the fight no more. Starting to lose a little steam.
But I'm saying, I mean, if he stops Pitbull Cruz, right? I mean, don't you think that people would want to see, Lamont and Tank more due to the fact that, Tank had a hard time with Pitbull?
No, I think people just want to see Tank versus Lamont because Lamont, he had a hard time with Lamont. It's just like Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. People just like controversy. People just like, you know what I'm saying? So people like to see finished business. They don't want to leave it unfinished. And that's what the intrigue is. People want to see finished business. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the intrigue of the fight. And it doesn't make no sense why they're taking so fucking fight, Everybody keeps saying that you know, Tank getting the money, but is we getting the fucking money? Is we bidding out for the fucking money? Is he gonna give us some of the money? Are we waiting on him to feed us any bit? No. I want what I want. Fuck that. I'm selfish. I'm a fan. I want to see the fucking fight. I don't want to see no fucking circus. You know what I'm saying? So for everybody saying, oh, he back, who gives a fuck? I hope he do get, he already rich as fuck. He already won 30 million in the last fight or something. He got more money than I'm ever gonna have. I don't give a fuck. I want to see the fights. I'm a fucking boxing fan. I want to see a fucking fight. I don't want to see no fucking farce. Fuck. Motherfucker count another motherfucker pockets. They all getting paid. These motherfuckers getting paid millions. Boy, we making how much? 60,000, 40,000 every motherfucking day, going to work 9 hours a day and shit. And then coming home with come on, waiting on income tax and shit like that to get some big bread. Come on, man. I'm talking about the average person.
Lamont Roach gives a composed yet pointed response regarding the controversy. He says he doesn't personally mind Tank taking the Jake Paul fight. After all, any fighter would consider such an opportunity. But what he does take issue with is the way it was handled. Roach reveals that there was a rematch clause in his contract with Tank, one that was simply ignored. Instead of communicating or resolving that obligation, Tank went silent and signed with Jake Paul. Roach calls that unprofessional and disrespectful. He admits that if he were in Tank's position, he might have done the same thing, but he would have made sure everything was transparent and handled correctly. What bothers him most isn't the fight itself, it's the lack of respect and communication. Boxing, Roach says, is built on honor between competitors. When that code is broken for the sake of spectacle, the sport loses integrity. Financially, Tank might win, but ethically, he loses a piece of credibility. To Roach, it was a missed opportunity to show class and greatness.
Right, for not executing that rematch. Is it safe to say that there was some money given to you because of that?
Money given to me, not necessarily, but
okay.
You know, like I said, those guys took good care of me. Those guys on the other side took care of me. Not him personally and not his team personally, right. But you know.
But somebody made it right for that rematch not happening.
Kinda, you could say that.
Yeah. I understand. I don't understand the position you're in, but from the outside looking in, you had a phenomenal performance against arguably one of the best fighters, you know, top 10 pound-for-pound fighters in Tank, which many didn't believe it would happen. So you want the opportunity to get back, and you know, I guess get the victory. But can you really, honestly, putting yourself in Tank's shoes, be upset with taking advantage of the opportunity to fight Jake Paul? Reportedly, there's about $40 million that he's going to get paid. Now, I don't know this to be, you know, accurate, but I'm saying those are the reports, right? If you were in his shoes, wouldn't you do the same thing?
See, now, this is something that I explain and express, and I hope everybody gets. That opportunity is an opportunity that you probably cannot pass up. But it's about how you handle it. It's about how you go about it. A lot of people don't know that he actually exercised his rights to the rematch, so that contractually binds us to a fight. You cannot breach that unless you do what you have to do to handle the business, to be like, okay, well, we mutually agree to let you move on or swindle around and fight.
Jake Paul defends his decision to fight Gervonta Davis with full conviction. He clarifies that this isn't an exhibition like Mayweather versus Logan Paul, it's a legitimate, sanctioned bout with real judges and an official winner. There's nothing staged about it. He proudly confirms the inclusion of the knockout bonus and says it's a powerful motivator, not just for the money but for what it represents: ultimate validation. Jake thrives on being doubted. He says it sharpens his mindset and fuels his obsession with proving people wrong. This fight, to him, isn't about chasing clout. It's about testing his discipline, training, and courage against one of boxing's most feared names. The bonus, he adds, is symbolic, a wager on himself, on all the hours spent grinding in silence. This isn't survival mode anymore, Jake says. It's statement mode. He's not stepping into the ring just to hang on, he's stepping in to win.
I mean, even the list you made years and years ago, Gervonta Davis is on the list.
Yeah, exactly. It's all manifestation, and it's a very powerful thing. And yeah, I think people don't dream big or set massive aspirational goals and then also put the work in. I think that's the other thing is like, I'm still doing sprints and track work and bench press and squats and all of these things for the sport of boxing. So when I transition to NFL, I'm going to have a lot of that natural explosiveness and power from the past 6 years of training every day.
Ryan Garcia gives a blunt take, dismissing Jake Paul's approach as a publicity stunt meant more to dominate headlines than elevate the sport. Having fought Gervonta Davis himself, Ryan believes Tank accepted this bout for the paycheck, not the challenge. To him, real fighters chase legacy, not likes or live stream views. Ryan argues that fights like this may entertain casual audiences, but they do little to advance the art and discipline of boxing. The true currency of greatness, he says, isn't attention, it's respect earned through facing the best and beating them when it matters most.
Paul versus Tank, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like everyone's talking about it. It's a whole thing. A lot of people liked it, didn't like it.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you first like saw that it was a thing?
It pissed me the fuck off, bro.
Yeah,
like,
why?
It's just disappointing on mainly Jake's end. You know, we're not falling for the Disney Channel bit no more. We're not falling for you're not a fighter no more. We're not falling for that. You know, you're ranked as a cruiserweight and you're out here trying to fight a lightweight. And then on top of it, you were just talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. That doesn't make no sense. And, you know, I just felt like it was a disgrace to boxing and kind of it was not a good move by Jake Paul. You know, I understand people saying, you know, Gervonta got to go get his money, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, like, we're not talking about that shit. We're talking about the sport, bro. We're not talking about, oh, you got to get that money, bro. Yeah, but everybody's open to criticism. That's the whole point of this media shit. Right. That's why they talk about basketball players. They don't talk about, well, LeBron's making too much. Like, nobody cares, bro. If LeBron's missing the shot, he's missing the fucking shot. So at the end of the day, bro, I just thought it was a disgrace to the sport. Because on one end, you know, you got the casuals, right? The casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. Yeah. And if Gervonta Davis doesn't fuck up Jake Paul, they're going to think Jake Paul is some pound-for-pound champion type of fighter. Yeah. And to me, that's just, it's tricking the public, and it's kind of bullshit, bro, at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, if Gervonta was Jake Paul's size, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. There probably wouldn't even be a fight.
Former world champion Sean Porter provides a more balanced analysis. He admits that Jake Paul deserves credit for bringing real fighters into the ring, something few expected when he first entered boxing. Still, Porter points out that most of Jake's opponents see him as a profitable opportunity, not as a competitor they respect. That pattern has followed him since day one. Jake has achieved fame, Porter says, but fame doesn't equal respect. He acknowledges that Jake's skills, fitness, and ring IQ have improved dramatically, yet boxing isn't just about progress, it's about consistency. The sport rewards those who keep proving themselves against top-tier opponents. Porter concludes that Jake's story is impressive, but if he wants to truly earn the sport's respect, he'll need to face and defeat fighters who define eras, not just headlines.
I like when it's all said and done and when you guys go off, they go into the next man. So if y'all can make a big payday, go get that payday. The sport of boxing don't love you. That's the problem with this sport. It's like what Jake Paul did, man, it's crazy, but people getting paid off of it. Yeah. So if he can call any one of y'all out and y'all can get that payday, I say go get it, baby. I'm not mad at it.
For me, and I'm not mad at this move at all for Tank Davis, but I think when it comes to boxing fans, there's an essence that comes with this sport, and it's an essence that hasn't been lost, unlike other sports.
Comedian and boxing fan Earthquake adds humor with insight. He jokes about Jake's muscular build, saying, "Big arms don't win fights, lungs do." Earthquake explains that bigger fighters often look intimidating, but heavy muscle burns energy fast. Once fatigue sets in, timing and technique take over. He predicts that Jake might start strong, throwing wild, powerful punches early on, but over time, Tank's endurance, patience, and rhythm will begin to break him down. Boxing isn't a bodybuilder's game, he says. It's about who can still think straight when their body starts screaming. In his view, Tank's ring IQ and conditioning will carry him through. What looks like a strength advantage for Jake could become his biggest weakness as rounds progress.
You're a boxing fan?
Totally.
Okay. Tank Davis and Jake Paul in November. According to betonline.ag, Jake Paul is the underdog at plus 139. Gervonta Davis is the favorite at minus 180. So he's the favorite almost 2-1.
Right.
What do you think will happen in this ring?
I don't know, but Tank should beat him. Tank should beat him, but Tank is smaller. And usually in boxing, you take the bigger man, but then again, Terrence Crawford killed that when he beat Canelo.
They're the same weight.
Yeah, they were
at the time.
Way,
well, no, maybe a little bit different after they rehydrated, but they weighed in at the same weight. There's a 30-pound difference between Gervonta and Jake Paul. Jake Paul had to lose like 30 pounds to get down to like 195. And Gervonta, I think, is like 160.
Gervonta all the way up to 160.
Well, hold on. Gervonta.
160.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Hold on. No. 133.8.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, he 133.
It's a 60-pound weight difference.
Yes.
60 pounds.
Yes.
Ooh. That wraps up today's breakdown. The build-up to Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis is far from just a boxing event, it's a clash of worlds, egos, and eras. Stay tuned, because this story is still unfolding, and when that first bell rings, everything we've heard will finally be put to the test inside the ring.